Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and this is a how to draw faces tutorial because I've been getting a lot of requests for this, and I know I haven't posted this week. My computer broke and I had to fix it and reset my hard drive, but yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. How I draw faces, I want to let you guys know is I basically came up with my own system. I studied a lot from other artists, like I tell you guys all the time in these tutorials and stuff like that. Like, I take a lot of inspiration from different artists, and I decide what I want to use and what I don't, and what I want to put in and stuff like that. And this is how I came up on drawing faces. First, I usually start with a circle, and then or I use a perpendicular lines to match the face and to make sure it's in the middle and stuff like that. The circle is perfectly around. And then I usually go with slanted lines down almost to meet at the bottom, but then I usually cut it off, or not cut it off, but I usually have a small little section to connect for the chin. And then the ears, I started usually the top of the ears start where the top of the eyes start too. So where that line is, I drew the ears underneath, and then I drew the eyes underneath it, right underneath it. And then for ears, I just do a upside down heavy C basically. For eyes, I've studied a lot of different people. I got a lot of inspiration from manga and anime and stuff like that, so it kind of replicates that style. For eyes, I usually like to do a wave, a giant wave in the middle, but giant hump in the middle of the eye where the usually the pupil will go, and then a small flip up for the eyelashes to indicate that's there. And then for the nose, I did it at the bottom of the circle. That's usually where this nose would be, right in the middle of the face practically. And for noses, I just do a shallow M. It's like a very spread out M to get the nostrils, and in the middle part of the nose, and then the other nostril, and then I do a bottom heavy C on both sides to show the nostrils where they end, to cap them off. And then for lips, it took me a while to decide on how I wanted to do my own style lips, but I figured I developed it into where I like doing it, where it's a shallow M in the middle. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. I just do it as a line. It depends on if the drawing looks better with it or not. And then I do a shallow M for the top lip, not connecting to the corners of the mouth, and then a bottom heavy arch for the bottom lip. And I just do the 2 dots on the sides to show the corners of the mouth. And yeah, sometimes I do the top lip as what's it called, a arch, or sometimes I do it as a shallow M. It depends on your style, or if the character you're drawing looks better with that, with either or. And yeah, for ears, I go in a little bit more detail, where I do a one line to show the top of the ear closest to this top, and then I do another little line inside, and then I do a little C for the part where in your ear that covers the ear, where your inner ear is, and then another hump to show where that ear part of your ear is, where your earrings usually go. And then I do a line to show the outer ear, that puffy part of the outer ear. And then yeah, I know it's confusing, but it took me a while to decide on like a shortcut of drawing ears, and this is the only one I do, but yeah. And I like doing little details, like showing where the bridge of the nose starts, and it cuts off, separates from the eyes. I do little lines on either side, and then I do a little to indicate an eyelid. I just do a little line above the eyes and the eyelash line, usually on both sides. Eyebrows is a little harder to describe. I always make them a very arch heavy at the on either side of the face, and then towards meeting it in the middle, I usually flatten out that line. For the 3/4 view, I start with a bended line in the middle, a perpendicular line, and then a line coming through the middle horizontally. And then the top part of that horizontal line was usually going to be a hump for the forehead, and then I usually come in a little bit where the line meets, or make like a shallow C, and then come up for the cheek part or the high cheekbone, and then go down a little bit and shape make the line slanted to show that there's a jawline on the other side, and then meet at the right underneath where that or right where that vertical line ends. That's where the chin will go. So I usually draw a flat line for that one. Curve it right back up, slanted for the jawline on that side, and then go back up to the ear where the ear part would be. And yeah, that's how I usually do a 3/4 view. The top of the head on a 3/4 view is usually cuts off behind the ear, in the middle part of the ear. So you just make it because that's where the skull is, and towards the back. So I just indicate that part being by just drawing a big old C-shape arch to the middle part of the ear. Drawing eyes, usually the part that's farthest from you will be a little smaller, and then the eye in front of you will be bigger. I also make the arch the top arch eyelash line a little more closed in to indicate it being seen from a perspective. And then the nose, I usually do a line up in the middle for the middle part to show the nostril on the other side, and then come down and draw a little hump for that nostril that is closest to us. Then I draw a heavy bottom C again on both sides. For lips, I do the same thing I did on the other side. I just make it show it as a more heavier curve on the farthest from us to show that lip is in perspective and stuff like that. And then and then I do everything has to be in perspective if you're going to do this point of 3/4 view. So even the middle line has to replicate the top line, and then just the heavy the part of the bottom lip that's farthest from you, make sure it's more curved out so you can see it in perspective. Same thing. For the eyebrows, it's going to be for side view. Side views has always been a struggle for me, but I have definitely gotten better. This is where you usually I usually always make the nose too big, and I always leave no room for the lips to end or start. So you have to try to, if you want to, if you do a front view, you could line it up and know where each feature goes, and that's how I usually do it when I do a side view. And then when you do a side view, you have to make sure that the forehead is protruded farther than the bridge of the nose, or if your character has a big big nose bridge, make it bigger, but it has to indent at least a little bit to show that separation. And then the nose comes out just a little bit, and then right underneath from the nostril you make a line to indicate the nose comes out a little bit to come out for the top lip, and then another hump for the bottom lip, and then a small little curve in for the chin, for when the chin starts, and then a big C to come right underneath the chin, under the neck. And that's how I usually do side views. Then you come up for the jaw diagonally, and then make that line again like we did on the 3/4 view for where the ear connects, and then do the back of the head like how I did in the 3/4 view, connecting to the ear. It doesn't connect to the ear, but in how it looks in perspective, it connects to the ear and goes straight back to the forehead. Eyes, when you do it, I always used to forget this when I'm doing a side view, that the eye doesn't come straight up to where the bridge of the nose is. You have to make sure to put it back a little bit farther, where I started the corner of the eye, top eyelash line, where the nostril, not the nostril, but that C for the nostril started or ended. And that's how I know where to put my eye and how far back to put it. Eyebrows is a little it's easier to do pretty much. And then lips, I just do a little line to indicate that there's lips there and stuff like that, and then I do the middle line to show the separation between the top lip, the bottom lip, and then the corner of the mouth. Ears are a little harder. I made sure to put an emphasis on the side of the ear more. If you guys could tell, it's a little thicker, and then shorten everything a little bit more on the side view. But that's basically, I know it's hard to draw faces, but everything meets. You have, if you study a lot of faces and stuff like that, you will realize everything has a corresponding line to where it should be and where it should go. And eventually you will learn that the map of how the face works and stuff like that. But just remember certain things like how the top of the ear meets with the top of the eye. There's things like that, and that will help you know how to start a face each time. But I just go in and start putting hair on each of the girls to give them a little more personality, not make them look so robot-like. And then this is the easier, one of my favorite parts, going into detail and stuff like that, just making my characters look more unique and stuff. But faces are still a struggle for me. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I just keep reworking them, keep going back. Especially if you work digitally, it's not hard to keep going back and fixing something that you think is a little off or is not looking right in certain places. Also, just studying a lot of facial references. They're on Pinterest. They have a lot of references that helped me when I was not beginning, but before I got into college. I started wanting to really improve and hone in on my skills of drawing, and that's what I would do. I'll look at a lot of how to draw faces, little templates they had on Pinterest and stuff. I had some on my drawing reference board if you guys want to look on there. But this is how I draw faces each time practically. I probably don't do every step, like the circle for when I do a symmetrical just front view of a head. I probably don't do the circle all the time, but if I need a little bit more help in portraying a certain perspective, I will do the circle just to understand where everything should go. But that was it for this video, and thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great next week. I'll see you guys now, since my computer's fixed now, with a new video on Tuesday. I already finished it, so you guys don't have to worry. And then an exciting video on Friday that I can't wait for you guys to see, that I finished this week too, because I had all these time to do stuff because my computer was broken. But thank you guys, and have a great next week, and talk to you guys next week. Bye.